If you ask 100 people what's the greatest maritime disaster in history, I'm sure they'd all say the sinking of the Titanic. What's the most talked about, filmed and documented ship on the planet? I'm sure they'd all say the Titanic also. The unsinkable Titanic, captained by local captain John Smith, has many stories to tell. Titanic Promotions will be telling those stories. The Titanic was registered here in Albion House, known as the White Star Building, and local people nicknamed it the Streaky Bacon Building. And on the middle balcony, the disaster unfolded when the Titanic, unfortunately, it sank on the 15th of April 1912, and throngs of people were here, right here on the Strand, demanding that the news for their loved ones be coming through. And don't forget that these were angry people. Here we have a memorial to all the firemen in the ships during the First World War, and also the lads on the Titanic. The band that played so courageously on the Titanic came from the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and their memorial that's dedicated to them and the rest of the people that went down on the Titanic is here in the Royal Philharmonic Hall. Now, where we are, obviously, is the White Star Pub, and Alfie's the owner. Can you tell me something, Alf? Why is it called the White Star?
Because it used to be a ship's chandlers back in the 1750 or 60, and they used to sell a lot of stuff to the White Star Queue, which started in the early 1800s.
So therefore, you know, with the White Star, obviously, with the disaster of the Titanic, in 1912, there's a lots of interest with people, customers, coming from all over the world into the White Star Club. And do they ever ask about the
all the time. That's why we've a Titanic wall and stuff like that.
Also, besides the Titanic, which this has got a big association with, is the Beatles. And I was here that the Beatles used to sit before they went and played on the Cavern, so they had a quiet drink, they had a little chat, they had a fag in those days, and they just went from here up to the Cavern, and well, the rest is history. You can meet this fellow as well. Albeit that Liverpool has a great maritime history, there are other sites and venues well worth a visit here in the city. St George's Hall is the jewel in Liverpool's crown, and it's well worth a visit. You must come and visit St George's Hall. It's fantastic. This fine gentleman in the background here is Henry Bood, who invented the coupling for the railway system, because they only had rope and they kept snapping, and he invented the iron coupling. However, his cousin, Julius Brutus Bood, and with a name like that, he had to be an actor, which he was here in Liverpool. And eventually, he left Liverpool, went over to America, and his son followed him on the stage and was an actor himself. And his name was John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Abraham Lincoln. In 1790, James Morley became the very first consul to come out of America in the aftermath of the American War of Independence, and that's where the consulate was, right here in Paradise Street. This staircase was actually replicated on the flagship of the Cunard, the Queen Mary, Villington Thicknesses staircase. Where we are, we've just descended into the bowels of the Cunard building, and it's here that these wonderful safes, walk-in safes, held so much possessions of the very wealthy people, not just from the country of Great Britain, but also around the world. Absolutely amazing the amount of treasures, shall we say, that were held in these wonderful safes for a safe journey across the Atlantic to all different parts of the world, especially America. Just found a safe. Wonder if there's anything in it. Just why I look, empty as usual. Here we are at 19 Abercrombie Square. This is the reception area of what was once the only American Confederate embassy in the entire world during the American Civil War. Here in the vestibule is the palmetto tree that's still being flown in some parts of the southern states of America, especially North Carolina. As you can see, you've just seen the stars in plaster on the ceiling here in the consulate, and they represent the southern states of the Confederates. Here, what Prolo, J.K. Prolo, had to do was to bring in two Liverpool artists who, unfortunately, we don't know the names today, but he had them to paint the culture of the southern states. And what they depicted, the Liverpool artists, were the two ancient greats, ancient Rome and ancient Greece. And as you can see on the ceiling, you can actually see the Confederates sitting around a table, just enjoying themselves like the Greek or Roman gods would do during their time. And also what you see is a wonderful depiction of Prolo himself and his wife. While we're here in Abercrombie Square, this is Tom Murphy's statue of our only double VC of the First World War, Dr. Noel Chavasse, a great airline.